Order. My name is Alan Barkstrom and I represent District 8 and I'm the chairman of this committee. So the first item on the agenda is roll call to order and roll call.
Good morning. Alan Barkstrom.
Here.
Michelle Drobnik.
Here.
Doug Erickson.
Here.
Jason Hastings, are you online? Jason Hastings, are you online? I don't have him. And also Robert Kopish.
Here.
Thank you. Oh, Larry Mivas.
Sure.
And Rachel Hoffman is excused.
You might want to ask Jason.
Oh, Jason Hastings, are you present online? Jason Hastings, are you present online? We'll watch and see if he does
He
join.
didn't notify me that he was going to be missing.
Me neither. Thank you.
Okay. If you're on the agenda, there's no need to speak during public comment. And I see Karen, you signed up for public comment, but you're also on the agenda, so you can speak at that time. Fair enough. All right. Is there anybody else that wishes to speak in public comment? If you're online, *6 to unmute yourself. Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to the next agenda item, which is communications. Is there anybody on the committee that wishes to speak? Okay, hearing none.
I have one quick comment. We were informed by IT this morning that they're working on our fiber line.
Cut off.
And so if, it's the fiber between the buildings, but if they were happen to cut it in some way or bump it and we lose connectivity, the meeting can still go on. It just won't be online.
Yeah.
They believe it would be about an hour outage if something were to be
So we've
spliced.
got a little bit of jeopardy that we're dealing with this morning.
Goal is not to, but it does happen when you're working on it.
All right. This morning, we're going to be holding 3 public hearings. And at that time, if you wish to speak to any of the agenda item, you can. You'll be offered 3 minutes to speak during that time. So you should, when you do that, you should go to the podium there and make sure it's on, state your name and where you live, and we'll move on from there. So, okay, I'm going to declare the hearing open for the first agenda item, which is, the time is 9:03, conditional use permit filed by Joshua Teeters for the purpose of renting a home on the short-term basis on property located within part of Government Lot 3, Section 8, Township 40 North, Range 1 West, Town of Lake. Fire number is N16224. Okay, Amanda?
Letters of notification were sent to Frederick and Sally Lurkey, Jerome and Mary Pritzel, Matthew Teeters, Howard and Mary Luthmers, Kenneth and Kathleen Granstrom, Robert and Jane Farkas, James Gummerson Revocable Trust, Marshall and Shirley Benz, Joshua Teeters, and Angela Sales with the Town of Lake.
Okay, ready?
We didn't receive any communications
response.
back on this one.
Does anybody wish that's in the room to speak to this conditional use permit? Okay, then we'll declare that portion of the hearing closed. Its time is 9:04. Agenda item number 5 is a decision on the conditional use permit filed by Joshua Teeters for the purpose of renting a home on a short-term basis. Jason has come into the room on 9:04. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Doug Erickson.
I'll second.
On that, the first one here.
First
Yes.
item.
I just a question before we go ahead. I'm reading the detail here, Evan, and you said here the.
I'm sorry, Bob. Bob, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Can you please use your mic?
Yeah.
Thank you.
On the application, they say the occupancy is 14 people.
Yeah, they were only gonna be allowed
8?
4.
What, they say there's 3 bedrooms or what is that?
It's a 2-bedroom. It says 4-bed.
4 bedroom, 3 bathroom residence.
Yeah, they're gonna be notified that they're only allowed, they've got a 2-bedroom septic. So they're gonna be notified that they're only allowed 4.
Okay, that's a big deal. It's 14 people versus 4.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So, yes, we were aware of that. and
Okay.
They will be notified that the max occupancy will be 4
Okay,
at that.
all right, all right,
Is that-
thank you.
Should that be amendment to the motion?
It's included automatically. It's
Included?
in the ordinance, it's in the ordinance for the conditions that apply to short-term rentals.
Okay, so we don't need to do anything with the motion because it's automatically, because of the
Because of our
situation there,
ordinance.
they're only gonna be allowed 4.
Yes, unless they install a larger septic.
But, and then you'll be involved with the permitting, so.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So should I just vote then?
Well,
You're in the
there's
process
a
of
motion on the
voting.
floor.
Yeah.
And you made some comments and
Yeah.
there's no need to make a motion for
No,
to amend it.
No,
So we'll just move on to
Okay.
take the vote.
okay, all right.
So we do have a motion on the floor to approve the permit by Doug Erickson and seconded by Michelle Drobnik. Any other further discussion? Okay, we'll vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Is approved. Agenda item number 6 is conditional, and the time is 9:06. Conditional use permit filed by Jim and Lisa Brandt for the purpose of renting a home on a short-term basis on property located within part of Government Lot 1, Section 11, Township 39 North, Range 3 East, Town of Fifield. Its fire number is W578, State Highway 70.
Letters of notification were sent to Albert Ropke, Crystal Parisu, Lawrence Kennett, Ryan Schroeder, Arnold and Kay Clement, Elmer Hansel, Nicholas Hensel, James and Lisa Brandt, Charles and Cheryl Passwell, Jason Schroeder, Russell Schroeder, James and Lisa Brandt, and Angela Richardson with the town of Fifield.
We received nothing back on this one either.
Nothing? Okay. Is there anybody in the room that wishes to comment on this permit? Okay. I'll declare the hearing closed at 9:08. And we'll move on to the decision on the conditional use permit filed by Jim and Lisa Brandt for the purpose of renting a home on a short-term basis.
I'll motion to approve.
Motion by Kopish,
I'll second.
seconded by Doug.
Hastings.
Oh, Jason Hastings. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll vote on the, on the motion to approve. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. Use permit is approved. The time is 9:08 and we'll, agenda item number 8 is the special exceptions permit filed by Dwayne Moxness for the purpose of building a garage 40 feet to the center line of Sioux Lake Road.
So,
Of
sorry,
South
sorry to
Sioux-
interrupt. It's not quite 9:10 yet.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
All right.
Almost. One
We're
more.
ahead of schedule.
Yeah, I just don't want somebody to.
Thanks, Evan.
Any news on the connection, Nick?
No, we haven't. Some people have to start.
All right, now the time is 9:10. Agenda item number 8 is a special exceptions permit filed by Dwayne Moxness for the purpose of building a garage 40 feet to the center line of South Sioux Lake Road on property located within part of the southeast quarter of the southeast quarter, section 12, township 37 north, range 2 west, town of Elk, with a fire number of N9020 South Sioux Lake Road.
Letters of notification were sent to Dennis Jagodinsky Trust 101, Timothy and Tanya Helwig, Prohaska Family Property Trust, Dwayne and Sheila Ann Moxness, RKK Income Trust, and Regina Demjanovic with the town of Elk.
We didn't receive any comments back on this one either.
Okay. Let's see, that's on,
It's on South Sioux Lake Road.
okay, that's on South Sioux Lake Road, so that's, any issues with the town of Elk?
We didn't get anything back from the
Back
town
from
of Elk.
them? Okay,
Question on this, which property is it?
On the plot plan,
Yeah, on this one with the green,
it'd be the one. Yeah.
oh, this one right here. Right in the middle.
Is there any issue with that corner as far as sight?
No, it's kind of tucked back in the other way. Like so. So the corner comes around it. There you go. Yeah. So that garage, the proposed, you can see the existing garage. So this one, if you remember, we approved a special exception for this one last year.
And we refunded it?
We didn't refund the special exception, refunded the land use permit application. Cause he applied for a special exception and measured straight out to the road and didn't measure to the closest point of the road. So
Oh,
he
this is-
applied for a special exception like at 55 feet or 50 something. And he needed to, it was actually 40 feet. So now this is to approve to get closer to the road. So yeah, so that garage that Nick is measuring there is the one that he wants to extend out closer to the road.
does it measure up with the neighbors as far as other buildings that close?
There's several buildings that are pretty close to the center line. If you see his house there and measure from his house and to the northwest, it's pretty close to the center line of the town road. And then as you travel further north on South Sioux Lake Road, there's a lot of buildings. If you've been down that road, I imagine,
Yeah.
down to like Muskie Bills, I think that is down there. The road's really tight to the lake right there, and there's
All right,
houses
we
jammed
still
in.
have the hearing open. So is there anybody else wish to speak during the open hearing? Otherwise, we're going to declare it closed. Okay, the hearing is closed. Now I would expect a motion to approve.
You want a motion? I'll make the motion to approve.
Motion by Kopish,
I'll second.
seconded by Michelle Drobnik to approve. The time is 9:13. And we'll move on to agenda item 9, decision on the special exceptions permit filed by Dwayne Moxness. We can open up to more comments. So there,
What's that?
okay, we have a motion and a second. And there's no comments. We'll vote on the issue. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, hearings are ended, and the next agenda item is a land division filed by Benton McMullen to create one lot, town of Hackett.
Some should have been included in your packet as well. You can see the proposed lot size, roughly a 5 acre lot. Meets minimum lot size requirements. It's got plenty of frontage on the town road. There's really no issue
Okay,
with it.
so motion to approve,
I'll make that motion.
motion by Michelle,
I'll second it.
seconded by Doug Erickson. Any comments? Okay, we have a motion and a second. We'll vote on agenda item number 10. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Land division is approved. Next agenda item is 11, land division filed by George Grubbs Senior to create one lot town of Knox.
This one was in your packet as well. They're creating one new lot, 220 by 400 roughly. Again, this one's got plenty of frontage on the town road, doesn't exceed the 4:1 length width ratio. It's
So-
well over an acre,
Yeah, all right.
so.
So do I hear a motion to approve? Motion by Kopish,
I'll second.
seconded by Michelle Drobnik. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Land division is approved. Next item is a land division filed by Albert Simpson on behalf of Randy Johnson to create one lot town of Elk.
So this one was in your packet. The CSM should have been in there. You can see on the map where they're creating a lot. It's well exceeds the minimum lot size. 20,000 square feet. It's roughly 4.5 acres. So there's really no issue on this one either. You can see the 66-foot wide driveway easement that goes in to access the lot. Yeah, we have
Oh, which one is it?
be lot three.
Lot
new
two,
lot being
lot three, or, oh,
Lot two is lot two of that CSM number 1555.
that's the one we're looking at.
No,
No?
that one CSM number 1555 is already recorded. Lot three is a lot being
Okay, we're
created
doing
right
lot
now.
three. Okay.
You can see it's 4.5 acres and it's got over 40 feet of frontage.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Erickson,
I'll second.
seconded by Jason Hastings. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Land division is approved. Okay, agenda item number 13, land division filed by Benjamin Morey to create one lot town of Amory.
So this one's in your packet as well, be that map. So the new lot is 222 by 223, so it exceeds the 1 acre requirement. 1 acre is roughly 208 by 208, so it's slightly bigger than the 1 acre minimum lot size. I did talk to the surveyor about maintaining the 10-foot setback along the west side for the garage. And looks like according to the plot plan, they've got that maintained. So there's really no issue with this one either.
So we're all in compliance.
Correct.
All right. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I will.
Motion by Michelle,
I'll second.
seconded by Jason. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, agenda item number 14, refund request from Jared Everts.
So this one, he had applied for land use permit, a sanitary permit, and a fire number for a lot that they had an accepted offer on and were planning to purchase. Through no fault of their own, the seller backed out through some mortgage issue. So he paid the money for permit applications, We put it on hold till the property is transferred in his name. The property is not able to be transferred in his name now, so it's asking for a refund request on these permit applications. And the total permit application was $1,189.40. So just be looking for approval on that.
Okay, you've
We
done
really
those-
we really didn't have any work at all
you did-
into it.
Okay, so you
We
didn't expend
received the
anything.
application, put it in the hold pile till they got the property transferred in their name,
Yeah.
and they were.
Let me
never
ask you
able
a
to buy it.
hypothetical question. Let's say you did expend some services. Could you give them a partial refund? Or would you recommend that?
We could. I think years ago we had done that in the past. Depends how much time and effort
Needs to be
we
fair
have.
to all parties.
What's that? Yeah,
It needs to
depends
be
how much
fair to
time
all
and effort.
parties.
So what we've done in the past on refunds for, we've had some, I think, for like special exception application type refunds where we'll refund everything minus the publication costs or whatever. If
Okay,
there's
so you got a
something.
precedent
So
for doing that.
if we have where we actually expended any time or money into it.
All right, so do I hear a motion to approve the refund request?
I'll make that.
Motion by Doug Erickson,
I'll second.
seconded by Bob Kopish.
And
Any
Meredith, do
further-
you need that dollar amount? Did you get that?
I had $1,189.40.
Correct. Yep.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Just make sure you found it.
Okay, any further discussion?
I just think he actually went above and did what he was supposed to find out and everything, and then the land sale didn't go. Which I think is
Yeah, and
definitely
it's,
fair to we fund him up our.
yeah, I was pretty familiar with this because it was like 200 yards from my house. So I was watching the whole situation. So I was kind of aware of it. And it was really unfortunate for them. And anyway.
Did we vote? No, okay. So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the refund request signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, department reports.
You get a copy of the permit report in your packet for the month of August, through the month of August. And right now we've got, well, the land sale will be starting next Wednesday, the 25th, I believe, 24th. Yeah, next Wednesday, the land sale will be starting. Aside from the one semi trailer, that's actually on auction right now. So if anybody's interested in purchasing that, so we'll have a lot of questions, and that'll be a lot of site visits moving forward, showing the houses that are on that. But
Okay, any questions for Evan? All right, this portion of the meeting is adjourned. And we'll open up the land conservation portion of the agenda, and roll call would be thanks. Jason is now here. Yeah, okay. Any public comments on land conservation? Any communications from members of the committee? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to agenda item number 16, U.S. Department of Agriculture Wildlife Damage Program.
Make sure the green light's on. Push the button.
Yeah, push the button and then
All right,
tell
hear
us
me
your
now?
name and why you're here.
My name's Austin. I'm with the USDA Wildlife Services. I currently have next year's 2026 damage program budget and the deer donation program for 2026.
Okay,
First, I'll start with the budget. Does everybody have that in their packet? Yes. There's a 2025 and a 2026 the 25 is the one that's already signed. 26 is the new one that is not yet. There's a $23,000 drop from last year's budget. My understanding is this is a lot of salary based. We have just as many enrollees this year, but we have less that are enrolling into the reimbursement portion of the program. They're just doing shooting permits.
This is last year's.
And I think there was less abatement that was actually issued. So are there any questions on that?
Yeah, okay, this is a,
One thing to keep in mind with the wildlife damage budget is it's a in-out account. The DNR reimburses the county for all expenditures in the wildlife damage program.
so that's 100% reimbursed from the Wisconsin.
DNR, yes.
Yeah, okay, so this is an occurrence that goes on every year,
Yes.
right?
So we get billed quarterly from USDA Wildlife Services, and at the end of the year, I compile the bills,
Yeah.
submit them to the DNR for reimbursement, and we get reimbursed at 100%. Historically, every year we get reimbursed at 100%. So
Okay, but you need board approval for this, so what would be, in order would be a motion to approve.
I so move.
Okay, motion by Doug Erickson,
I'll second.
seconded by Jason Hastings. Any further discussion?
Just a quick question. Going from 84 to 63 is a pretty good sized drop.
Yeah.
Is there anything in particular that's changed?
There was this position sat vacant for a couple months after Luke had left. His salary was a good bit higher than mine. That is a majority of
You
that.
gotta,
Yeah.
okay. So it'll be going up as long as you stay here, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You hope.
Hopefully.
Okay, thank you.
So we would need a motion to approve the budget and then the participation
we have
agreement
that.
for the 2026 deer donation program.
Yeah, we have the motion to approve, right? You got the people who, okay, now we have to vote on it. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
And to clarify, this one's signed by the chair of the committee, correct? Evan or?
Yes.
I want to bring it over
Yes.
here. I'll sign it right now.
And then
Did you need
Alan-
me to talk about the deer donation program too, or did that already get?
No, we will have to do that separately. So Alan, there's the deer donation is another item.
Okay, so we can do it both at the same time, save you a trip.
The 2026 deer donation participation is just a signature that we can open it up to any processors in Price County that want to, like if a hunter shoots a deer that they want to donate, they don't want to keep themselves, they can donate to that and then it'll get put back into local food banks or something of the sort.
So who administers that? I mean, like, where do they take the deer?
Sorry, say that again.
They need to take it to a licensed processor that signs up for the deer donation program.
Do we have any? Do we have some in this county?
I don't know if we do currently.
I don't know if we did this year.
Historically, we had years ago, but
Country Sausage or,
well, they're closed, but they weren't, they didn't do the deer
They didn't do
donation
it either.
program they did maybe 20 years ago. It was a long time ago.
Does
They-
that new Brantwood one?
I don't know if they're,
there's one in Butternut and there's one in.
so Butternut's Ashland County, but,
That's the only one I can think of
Is
is
that
that
the
the
closest?
Brantwood one.
Yeah, they.
the Brantwood one, the only one that I'm aware
Yeah.
of. But so if we sign up, basically if you shot a deer, you'd take it and you wanted to donate it, you would take it to one of the licensed processors. They would cut it up.
And it
The
doesn't.
DNR would reimburse.
Doesn't necessarily have to
processor
be in the
directly.
county.
I mean, this would be specifically for Price County.
This would be just
guys,
Price
but-
County. So anyway, yeah, if we sign up, it's not gonna, this isn't a county levy amount.
Yeah.
Impact.
This is funded through back page from the DNR. This is not even for budget. This is just opening it up so that we can, if anybody wants to.
This one's funded directly from the
Yeah.
DNR to the processor. There is
Yeah.
no county.
This allows Price
Inter-
County vendors
Correct.
to happen. So
Mhm.
the DNR would then seek butchers or processors to do this in Price County. and that this would allow them to do it.
All right, I know we have one in Brentwood.
Yeah. But without this signature, they can't seek reimbursement
All right.
or donations for.
All right, there's an explanation. So there's
But
I'll
it's-
make a motion.
motion to approve by
I'll
Doug
second.
Erickson,
Second.
seconded by Bob Kopish to approve it. Are there any other questions? Hearing none, we'll vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Now you can bring the,
I heard, Mr. Chairman, I heard Country Sausage is gonna open back up, so maybe somebody could contact him when they do.
oh. Oh, that would be good.
Just for its.
Okay.
Sure.
Let's see, what's the date today?
18th.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
That'll be good for that one.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
And then this one here,
This one I just need signature and a date on both.
it needs a
sides.
county price,
I just put a signature. Yeah.
all right. Still the same way, right? 18th.
And on the back side of it as well.
Flip it over.
It's the same thing, just different format
Okay.
for. I believe that's really good. Thank you.
Thank you, young man. This one here? Okay,
Didn't want you to go out of order.
Hmm?
Hi, that's the amended one.
yeah, all right. Okay, agenda item number 20, which is a discussion action Karen Kerner, WDACP eligibility amended. This was on the agenda amended 9/15.
So I'll speak for a little bit here, and then I'll kick it over to the biologist and the warden that were directly involved with this. Per our regulations or our guidelines on this, if somebody has, or they have to have a form of abatement to get reimbursement, which in Karen's case was shooting permits, which DNR found an issue with those, so those had been pulled back where we can't issue more shooting permits for this year. Which then, per my guidelines, if someone doesn't have a form of abatement, with her not having shooting permits, technically she can't be in the program for the remainder of the year, which would retract any reimbursement for that year. But with the situation at hand, the DNR is also wanting her to be pulled out of the program for this year and next year. Derek and them will have more information on that.
Do you have a copy of the requirements?
I don't have that with me. At least
I mean,
the guy-
I would
Yeah.
be very interested to read more about the program and all
I
of
can
that.
send something in. I just don't have anything on me right now.
Austin, when you're talking, you need to really talk into that mic.
Oh, sorry.
It's hard
Yeah.
hearing
Um,
everything you're saying.
Do you need me to restate anything there? or-
Well, just the key points, just so I understand what the issue is.
The issue here was there were 2 citations issued to Karen on shooting
Received 2
permits.
citations
Yeah,
for,
for shooting permits. One of them was incorrect issuance of the tags to other hunters that were hunting on property. And then the other one was supposedly incorrectly registering the deer
okay,
on the permits.
okay, and that was by a warden or somebody that did that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
Warden Ebert.
all right,
Because those citations were issued, the shooting permits were retracted.
okay,
We can't issue any more for this year.
okay,
Which then, because she doesn't have the abatement, we would technically have to pull her from the program. But this is being put forth to the county because you guys have to vote on whether she can stay in the program or not
Okay.
for
So-
this year and next year.
Okay, so it applies to both this year and next year.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And you're following the guidelines, all the guidelines are being followed on what has happened,
Mhm.
but now the decision comes to the county
Yes.
on,
Yeah.
okay. all right.
The DNR is recommending her to be pulled from the program for this year and next year. And then I am just following the guidelines that I'm given by the DNR.
Now, maybe you can't answer the question, I don't know, but how serious of an issue is this?
As far as what?
As far as what happened? I mean, is it really a big deal, or is it technicalities or just minor offenses, or how would you classify it?
The warden and them would be able to speak on that
Okay.
better than I can.
Okay, so are you the warden? You're the warden, okay. So you know what the question is? Okay, thank you.
Good morning. My name is Tim Ebert, Lieutenant Conservation Warden out of Park Falls. I'm the area warden supervisor for the area. We did an investigation into the agricultural damage permits being issued there, and we found a number of issues essentially with the paperwork, that none of the paperwork was being completed properly for several years. And additionally, the hunters that were coming to the property that were coming there to hunt are supposed to be issued a harvest authorization from Karen before they go hunt on the property. That was not happening at all. So it was putting the hunters in a very bad position where they're out there hunting deer without any proper authorization to prove that they can hunt deer. And then what was occurring was the hunters would harvest a deer, and then Karen would register the deer under her name. So in the files, it shows that Karen harvested the deer. And for all these hunters that harvested numerous deer over the last 3 years, there's no record of them actually ever harvesting a deer. It was all showing in Karen's name. There was other hunting logs also that were not being maintained in terms of the hunters signing in and out of the property also.
Okay, so we're dealing with private property,
Correct.
and this is an individual that's allowing people to come onto their property to hunt.
Correct.
And that's the process they have to go through in order to do it.
Yes.
Okay.
And I believe this is, or if there's deer damage in a farm or something, that particular landowner can get permission to harvest the deer.
Yes, and they get issued tags. Derek Johnson, the wildlife biologist, issues the tags to them that they can either utilize themselves or they can provide to other hunters to come onto the property and utilize also. But the hunter that comes onto the property needs to possess a valid authorization. So they have to buy a deer hunting license, but then they can get a authorization for an additional harvest on that property that's issued that Karen would provide to them.
Okay. All right. Does any other member of, Michelle, do you have some
Well,
questions of the
Doug's
warden?
hand technically went up first. I'm gonna be nice.
Have we had any other issue of other misreporting or anything in the county as far as other people? I mean, is everybody else following the same?
I can't speak to other ag damage permit holders. I have not had contact with them recently.
But we haven't issued any other.
Other citations, not that I'm aware of, no.
Doug, we did have a situation like this 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
We talked about Lance.
Yeah.
With Lance Meyer.
With
He was-
Lance.
He was removed from the program. I don't exactly recall. I believe that was a timing issue on reporting of damage.
Okay.
It was
But there was
different-
a removal.
There were other issues.
Well, there was a
Yeah.
situation, yeah, I think before I was here, right when I started, this was right 20 years ago. The same individual was also removed from the program, and that was a more similar issue to this. I think he was registering car-killed deer under his ag damage permits. But the most recent time that individual was removed from the program was over a timing issue. He was claiming damage too late, I
Yeah.
think, where he
So-
wasn't eligible for a claim because he claimed soybean damage like this time of year.
Yeah. So to Doug's question, we don't see this very often with those that are issued permits.
Michelle, you had some questions?
I do. This could get slightly long because I want to understand this. So In my line of work, we have a lot of training documents. So was Karen trained on what was required of her and as she applied for these tags? Was it clearly documented? I mean, I have no idea what's required, like minus what you just said. Was it documented that she understood her responsibilities on this? How do I know that if Evan shows up to my house and he says, I see you're listed as someone I can come get tags from, how do I know he's a registered hunter? How do I have access to look that up? That I would know that?
Yeah, I'm gonna let, if the board is okay with it, I'd like to Derek Johnson come up and speak to that, because he's the one that communicates with the landowner and issues those tags directly. So he's the one that has that direct communication. I'd like him to speak to that.
Good morning. Derek Johnson, wildlife biologist for the Wisconsin DNR, stationed out of Price County, Park Falls in Covered Price County. So your question again, documentation, instructions and everything?
So like when she signed up for the program, what information was she given? So she knew she would be filling out all of, dotting her I's and crossing the T's, right? Like, is there a packet where she signed off? She understood everything that was expected of her to be in the program. And then, I mean, I have more that I can follow up with past that.
So I guess the process from beginning to start is they contact USDA Wildlife Services. USDA goes out there, confirms damage is occurring on the property to a certain extent. They then issue an abatement measures. It could be various different things, but a pretty common one is a shooting permit to request tags specifically for the property. They receive an application that essentially there's a few signatures that they have to put on there, basically that they own the land or control access to the land if they are leasing land. And then there's, I believe it's section 9 of the application lists all the conditions of like transferring the tags, who can use it. In cases like Karen's permit, because it's open land during open seasons. So like right now, land is open for public hunting, under managed. They sign off on all that kind of stuff. So there's a long list of conditions that basically spell out all the forms. Says reporting, there's a section on reporting that goes over, they have to fill out the logbooks, the hunting logbooks, distribution logbooks, the transfer forms that are essentially the hunter and farmer sign off on, transferring authority of the tag to that hunter. All that's laid out and signed on there. And then I provide a packet with the tags, signed permit of the copy for me that has like the number of tags that are being issued, another copy of the conditions, and then the log books and the carbon copy forms. They're a half sheet kind of size carbon copy form. That's the transfer of authorization from the farmer to the hunter.
In the logbook, is there like a example of a
Yep.
properly filled out one?
Yep. On both logbooks.
Sure, you don't have
distribution.
anything that I could look at, do you?
I can bring up a Word document on my laptop, but yeah, I
I'm
don't
just
have a printed copy on me.
Curious to see it all.
Yeah. You want me to get that now? But yeah, both of them, the distribution and tag logbook. The big one with this, there were issues with that, but the big issue with these that were the cited offenses were on the improper transfer of the tag to the hunters, not giving them a copy of the tag, which they're required to have on them. Also not filling out a copy, that half copy that transferred off of their authorization. And then the misregistration of the deer was the other citation.
So all off a deer,
A
right?
All off a deer for this. Yep.
A misregistration? How do you misregister something?
They're registered under Karen's DNR customer account, not the hunters, which it clearly spells out on the forms, on the conditions that the hunter must register the deer.
You done?
For the moment.
Mr. Chairman, I have another meeting I have to be at. Can I be excused?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Make a note that Jason left the room at 9:44. Anything, I have one question.
Yeah.
Eric, it seems to be during the discussion, I heard that there was a long period of time before now and when these deficiencies first occurred.
Mhm, mhm.
Why before so long
Yep.
for it to be discovered?
Yeah, yeah. So when we annually look at performance, so we issue shooting permits. I don't know, just off the top of my head, we issue 15 to 20 of these shooting permits in the county every year. We audit them at the end of the year once the seasons are done and all the permits are expired. We're looking for performance because they have to reach for WM40 enrollments where they're receiving compensation for the damage. They have to shoot 80% of their harvest goal by September 15th. And then, so if they're issued 10 tags, they must shoot 8 deer on their permit to be eligible for compensation and to stay in the program the next year. For Act 82, where they're closed land, a lot of them get 5 tags or something like that. They need to shoot 4 of those by the end of the archery season. So those permits have been coming in the last month or so. A lot of them wait until fall when crops are getting a lot of damage right before harvest, and they want some abatement right before that. So they need to shoot 50% of their objective within 45 days of receiving the permit and tags, and then 80% by the end of archery season. So this year would be January 4th of 2026.
That's the landowner, right?
That's the farmer.
The farmer.
Yep, the permittee. Yep, the person that signed that permit. So we audit that again, that performance to make sure that they're reaching those objectives. They're not just enrolling in the program to get a few free tags or what have you. Like, the objective of the program is to reduce agricultural damage, to help the farmer out. And then, yeah, so we want to make sure that they're doing that. They're not just taking advantage of the program. When we look at that, we really don't look at who's harvesting the deer, because we have to go in and look specifically at each account to see that. We just get a report of all the agricultural damage registrations on each permit. So when like this situation arose, Karen requested additional tags for her enrollment. When I went into her account and looked at it just to make sure that all the tags have been registered thus far that were issued, because if there was unregistered tags out there, it's like, well, why would we issue more tags? So I always verify that. When I looked at the actual registrations in there at that point, I noticed that all of them were under her name, not the hunter name. So
her status is really a contractor with the DNR? She's a contractor. She's not an employee, right?
No, it's a permittee. It's not a contractor. I wouldn't want to say that. She's enrolled in the program to receive abatement measures through shooting permits, and then through her enrollment to receive compensation for losses.
She gets compensation for that?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions from Eric? For Eric?
Yeah, if you have any others,
At this point.
Yeah, would you like to see a copy of that stuff? Yeah, I'll grab it.
It's all right. The DNR has stated their case. Karen, you've signed up for to speak. Now would be your time to do that. And we're going to waive the 3-minute. You can speak as reasonable amount of time.
Great. Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Karen Kerner, and I represent Deer Creek Angus Farm here in Phillips, and I also represent all the other farmers in Price County. My husband, Greg Denzine, and our children, Alexis, 11, and Wyatt, 9, have 13 pigs, 3 horses, 8 chickens, 1 rooster, 3 ducks, 2 dogs, not sure how many cats, 4 rabbits, and over 250 head of beef. And I'm currently calving. We have Deer Creek Angus LLC. It's our farm meat store providing meat to over 500 customers yearly. Off the farm, I work as an Ag Country Farm Credit Services as a director. I also advocate for agriculture, both locally and at the state level down in Madison. I travel to Washington at least once or twice a year to do agriculture advocating. Advocating for programs just like the one in question for farmers We need something to be done before we're all gone. Wanting to be a farmer was my choice. That's what I said when I wanted to do, when I said yes to dating my husband, Greg. We agreed that we would have a beef farm when we purchased our farm in 1998 on a land contract. Farming includes work. And when you still do it with 2 full-time jobs off the farm, it becomes a lot of work. When we decided to expand our farm to selling meat, it was another full-time job. Most importantly, it was to provide our family with the healthiest meat possible. Then I started selling to the public. The public wants healthy, free from this and that. They want locally. So when they drive by my farm, they see good, healthy animals. It's the look, the good, healthy animal. We were honorees for the Beef Quality Assurance Award for Wisconsin in 2024. And we were nominated this year for the National Award. This means we take the best care, the right care, and follow guidelines to have a certificate as top beef producers. This is not easy when animals get sick. We have what is considered a closed herd. The only thing that comes into to our herd is purchased bulls. They go through a process before being exposed to the rest.
Karen, I'm going to interrupt you for just a minute. I let you have more than 3 minutes, okay, to speak, but could you get to the point of the DNR is saying that you're deficient in providing paperwork?
Yep.
And if you could talk to that, that would be
Sure.
appreciated.
Sure. The one thing we struggle with on the health part of our animals are the mystery illnesses. Mystery illnesses is what I call nuisance animal feces. Nuisance animals seek the necessary resources for survival. I provide shelter and food as a farmer for nuisance animals. Cattle are grazers, and no matter what they do, they are picking up stuff off the ground when eating the grass that they're pasturing on. I work with agronomists, cattle nutritionists, seeking soil samples and feed samples. I work with vets to find answers to the whys my cattle are not healthy. Liver flukes comes from deer. Animal tissues point to fox and coyote and wolf feces. Test results show bird feces possibly spreading salmonella coming from geese and turkeys. These all kill cattle. The number one thing I'm worried about, healthy animals. Healthy animals provide healthy meat for my customers and for my family. The questions in the discussion were taking away the privileges of shooting nuisance animals. Deer are under the nuisance animals. I'm not seeking additional dollars from the program. I'm seeking the ability to eliminate the nuisance animals. We have been in this program since 2020. This I have done this the same way since then. The gentleman that I've worked with before Seth come and go. 2 weeks ago, when the warden and Mr. Johnson showed up, I had never met either of them two gentlemen before. I get sent a packet in the mail with directions. These animals still keep coming. We don't hunt. We don't have time to hunt. We rely on other hunters to come to our farm to hunt these turkeys, cranes, geese, elk,
I'm going to
wolf.
give you another minute, okay? To summarize.
This program, I'm not asking you to change the program, but the DNR wants me to do their job. I need to make a phone call to the USDA, Seth Dodge, to have him come out to my farm and have him do the necessary assessment to determine if my farm should be in the program. After that, the rest of the work should be in the DNR's hands. They issue me a number, they issue me instructions, they issue me a timely time scale that I have to kill these deer by such and such a time, or I'm not compensated for what is the insurance on the crops for the damage that the deer.
Thank you, Karen. Okay. Does any committee members have any other questions for any of these people that have testified?
Well, this is a new issue for me. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not aware of any of this. I mean, I have a hard time understanding the connection here on some of this stuff, because we're talking about crop damage and you're talking about getting rid of animals who spread possible disease that get into your herd. I don't know if one and the other are the same. I would assume the program is for the crop damage. But that's really not your main concern.
The cattle are eating all these crops.
Well, they're grazing though, but the issue you brought up is the healthier herd and the feces and all that kind of stuff. And so to me, I think that's maybe more important to you as far as your herd than the actual crop part of it. Okay.
Well, all the crops, it's not just the soybeans and the corn.
It's grazing and all. Yeah. Okay. I understand that. But what I'm hearing is stuff that you said
Bob,
that
you're
is
asking
important.
some questions of this. Maybe she could come to the mic. So,
Oh, okay. But I'm just talking generally because I'm trying to get my hands around it.
The crops are for the farm. The farmer makes the crops for the cattle. We're not making crops for anything else other than the cattle
Understand.
to feed. All this feed, all the crops are feed for the animals. If it's chopped, if it's raked up, if it's a hay form, if it's a grain, all this goes through these wildlife animals are all eating on these crops.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. I understand that. But again, the thing I got out of what you said is the important thing is the healthier animals
Mhm.
because of what the quality product you're trying to put out there.
Yep.
So the two go together, but one seems more important to me than the other. And it's the same program. I'm not debating that. But the thing here is you were given, you get a bunch of information and you needed to apply and you needed to fill things out properly. And that's a key part of the program.
Mhm.
And from what I understand, that wasn't being done. And now just let me finish. And in any program, where you're not the only person participating, I think what you're asking us to do is say, well, that's okay that you did all that stuff and you shouldn't be penalized for it. for whatever reason. But there's other people in the program, and anything we do here today is setting a precedent. And what you got to think about is, okay, now who's the next person now that's going to have a problem and they feel they should get let off because they didn't do something right? And I appreciate the job that the wardens have to do because it's not a very easy job. And I appreciate the job you got to do because you got to monitor the program and you want people to comply. So I have a dilemma here.
Sure.
Lee, I
So,
would think, okay, yeah, let's give this lady a break. But on the other hand, we're going to set a precedent.
Sure.
And that means this committee is going to be held accountable to that going forward. And that's the problem for me.
and I have the logs that they're questioning and saying that were done wrong. This one, Austin Dodge gave me, and both gentlemen questioned me where I had got it. And I received it from Austin. So that's two different offices that aren't communicating with each other. This is another one that has the information of the hunters, the dates, the times, the numbers, that my authorization tag number, which I have filled out. The field that the deer that was shot on, and what extreme other comments that I have to ask the hunter filled out. Now they issue me this permit number like I am the hunter, and then I was registering the deer. The most important thing, the deer was registered. I'm getting a citation saying that I didn't fill these papers out right. I don't have time to see these hunters every minute of the day. I don't wear a sidearm when a hunter shows up with a loaded gun to request permission to go on my property. I do not know any of these people. Some I have become friends with, some I know, but the majority of the people that are calling requesting to come on my property could be pedophiles for all I know. But I pretty much have to do background checks on them to allow them to come hunt. And then I have to be there at the end of the day for them when they go home. I'm doing the warden's job. I'm monitoring.
Thank you, Karen. Any other questions, Bob?
I don't know.
Have any other?
I just want to, I guess, a point of information, or point of clarification. And if Warden Ebert wants to clarify more on it, Karen was not cited for improperly filling out the logs particularly. That's an important part. It's part of the reporting thing, but the citations were issued for the improper distribution of the tags, like, again, not giving them a physical copy of the tag and filling out the carbon copy form, and then the improper registration of the deer under her own account, which did not occur at the start. Another clarification, for the first 2.5 years, things were registered under the hunters, but in 2023 is when that changed.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to summarize it from what my intake was, is that you have a property owner here who runs farming agriculture, and there's some damage from animals, and she applied for permits to hunt deer and have them killed either by themselves or other hunters that could be eligible for that. And there was some questions that were brought forward by the DNR that the paperwork was not filled out in a timely manner. Is that pretty much summary of that? And it went on for a couple of years?
Filled out in an improper manner, but the question at hand about the enrollment comes from the citations issued. Paperwork, I guess, is a separate issue, but the tag issuance and registrations led to the citations, which led to this question of enrollment status.
And I didn't hear anything from the property owner that would defend that or say that we were in compliance. So, and the penalty that is being asked for is that the person be suspended from this program for this year and next year. That's a summary that I heard.
And I guess I have a question, would be the program director. I mean, that is the guidelines. If a citation is issued, that those, the farmer is not allowed to participate on recommendation from the DNR.
Yes, yeah.
And is there a time recommendation? Is there a standard? Or this is just what we've decided, 2 years?
No, that's the standard is the current year and the following year. So in the case in the past, that happened the same with the farmer, I believe back in like 2018, 2019, Lance Meyer.
So under those circumstances, the farmer, the damage continues to occur, would not be able to harvest any animals on that particular property.
Incorrect. They can still, through legal hunting seasons, so when fall seasons come around, archery, gun deer season, they can request the assistance of hunters in the area or people they know that have purchased valid deer hunting authorizations to hunt there.
Right. I understand. So Michelle?
So if that is the case, is our, oh my gosh, I can't think of the name. I know there's a right name for it, but is our area in the cropland damage tags where hunters can apply for those? I thought it was south of 64 or
that's-
something like that, right?
There's separate tags. There's deer harvest authorizations available pretty much everywhere. They're purchased by the hunter.
So the other penalty would be that that particular landowner could not ask for reimbursement.
Yep, reimbursement or direct property tags in the case of the ag damage program.
So as a licensed hunter, I cannot register these deer myself and give them to these hunters that shot them, is what you're saying.
Could you restate the question, I guess?
So as a licensed hunter, I cannot register these deer and give them to these hunters that shot them.
No, I'm trying to think of the
So
question.
as a
yeah.
party hunting, so I, as a licensed hunter, I cannot register these deer legally and then give them to them because they shot them.
Ag damage tags or regular tags?
All tags. It's a licensed tagged.
No,
You're providing me with a licensed tag.
we're providing you, the farmer, with a
Licensed
an
tag.
agricultural
Wait, these hunters are showing up with licensed tags. So they are licensed. I am licensed.
No, you're not. You're
You're providing me with a number, a license number.
a shooting permit number.
We're
Yeah.
getting into an argument here. I'm going to stop that discussion. There is one more gentleman in the room with a hand
Mhm.
raised. Would you step up to the mic? State your name.
Dave Kempen. I'm a participant in the hunts on Karen's farm. And have been for like 3 years with a friend of mine from Minnesota and his two 17, 18-year-old kids. We've came there for 3 years in a row, and I've done them before on other farms. I've participated one at the airport, and I as a farmer had crop tags myself. As a farmer, I believe you do not need a license yourself to harvest the deer.
If you are issued agricultural damage tags, as the farmer yourself, you do not need to have a valid deer hunting license.
If you are hunting on crop tags, you can hunt party hunting as a group. One person can possess all tags on the same property in sight or hearing distance of each other.
Do not know the legality of that, but the person has to be participating. If it's a normal deer hunting season and you are party hunting, the person has to be actively participating in the hunting activity as well.
I believe in the crop damage rules, it says you can party hunt as a group.
I'd have to look into that. I have not looked into that.
Okay, thank you, sir.
What my point in is I don't want Karen to lose her program for the damage, because I know they come out and they measure how much crops they eat around a fence or whatever. And then they reimburse her when she fulfills her abatement part of the program. And I know she probably, and I probably should get a fine too for not actually physically taking the tags and having them in hand. But also, I believe she only gets 5 at a time. We came with 5 hunters and we're not allowed to go back in August before September after 8 o'clock at night and contact her because she's allowed to have her private time. Now, if somebody wanted to go hunting the next morning while we're out hunting, she technically is not allowed to say no unless someone's signed up 2 people per 40 on her property to be hunting. She technically can't say no, except those tags may or may not be filled. So just streamlining the process, she kept the tag, but she's legally able to hunt. She can get a customer ID number. Once they're registered, once you get a confirmation number, you can gift, donate, do whatever you want with the meat. So, I mean, it's really a bookkeeping thing. It was wrong. It's not right. It shouldn't have been done that way. But all of the meat got used. The hunting was done where it was supposed to be done. No trespassing, no trying to do anything wrong. I mean, there was no bad intent on anybody to do anything incorrect.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, okay. All right, there's been a lot of conversation in the room, and I'm going to ask the representatives from the DNR, have you changed any particular position?
No, not from the wildlife management program.
Okay. All right. All right, so now motions would be in order of actions that, because it says in the agenda, discussion and action. So we've gone through the discussions portion. Well, Michelle, go ahead.
I just have a question. Is there a way to table this till our next month meeting so we can look at the documents that he has so we can see what she had agreed to? I myself feel like I'm blind still. Like, I mean, I've listened to Karen.
Do it to all of us.
Right. So, I mean, I would see some value in being able to see the documents before I feel I can make a better informed decision.
We could table it, I think.
Postpone.
Or postpone, sorry.
Postpone.
You didn't tell me
You
the right
agree, Nick?
language.
We could
The
postpone.
only question I would have is if the DNR program had some timeline we're trying to participate in.
No, as far as from a program standpoint, if the motion doesn't pass or fail, the program enrollment still goes as it would. Property is still public, still listed.
We're dealing with a specific,
Right, and I'm still on the website where people can call and contact me and ask me to come on my farm because I have kill permit, or I'm supposed to have kill permits for them to eliminate deer. So this continues to go on at my house where I receive phone calls and text messages every 5 minutes asking me for that availability.
thank you, Karen.
If I may, Mr. Chair, just quickly.
Ryan?
What exactly are we taking action on here? Is it
Well,
for the?
It's taking action on, the DNR is asking us to discontinue.
Just that,
permitting
the
of that
the
particular
citations are
landowner.
still going to stand.
That's between the landowner.
That's between the landowner and the DNR. So we're just,
Enrollment.
you're just voting on the program.
This is enrollment for the wildlife damage and abatement program, that whether she'd be eligible for that program this year and next year. We kind of got in the weeds on the citation issue there, but this is strictly related to the wildlife damage and abatement program. I'm not sure on how you would handle shooting tags if the committee chose
the
to allow
DNR
it to still be in the
So
program.
basically, the animals will continue to eat my crops.
I get that. So the DNR doesn't have any say about the program. You're recommending this to the county as far as that goes, but citations, you have control over. The program itself, the county has control over. Just for this new to me too.
Yep. Yeah. The state gives the authority to manage the ag damage program, the wildlife damage abatement claims program to the counties.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Thanks for asking a question. So the DNR issued citations, were there monetary penalties with those citations?
Correct. There's
Okay, so that's all separate.
totally separate.
So we're
Totally
not-
separate.
Okay. I was wondering how we were gonna
No,
count the
it-
DNR on
it's
citations.
just the taking me out of the program so the deer continue to eat my crops and affect my animals with
Just
illnesses.
quick follow-up. Can we modify the recommendation? Is that a possibility? I'm not suggesting it one way or the other, but instead of
The
this year,
DNR is
next year,
asking-
just this year?
Yeah, the DNR is asking that her permit is being revoked for this year and next year.
And my question is,
And I
Can we-
asked them if if they wanted to modify because of all the discussion that we had in public.
right, I
And they
get
said
that too,
no.
but they said no.
They said no.
We expected, but can the county change it? Can we say, instead of 2 years, which would be this year, next year, can we just say it's this year only? And I'm not suggesting that, I'm just asking the question, can that be done?
I can't answer that.
The one difficult thing we might run into is we don't have any control on whether the DNR issues shooting tags or not. One of the requirements for the wildlife damage program is that there's some form of abatement. Am I correct? So we might run into an issue if we are in the program, but there's no abatement available. I mean, the committee here is voting on whether she'll be allowed to be in the program this year and next year, correct?
And next.
Correct.
Okay. I don't know if you want to touch base on that. That's one question they may have, but I just want to clarify, I guess.
Let me understand what you're asking, she could be in a program, but she may not be able to get permits?
Yeah, that'd be
that what you're
between her
saying?
and the DNR. I just want you to be aware of that, right? Is that
Is that a reality?
reality?
Yeah, so at this point, Karen's been issued 10 tags for this year. Until this issue of program eligibility and the citations are settled, yeah, she wouldn't likely receive any more tags for this year.
So yeah, I get issued 10 tags at the beginning of February and I have to have the 10 deer killed before, I think it's August 1st. I have to have 10 deer killed. And after I get those 10 deer killed, then I can request more. So I send Derek the information that I'm requesting more tags to be provided. So more deer hunters can come in and eliminate deer off my property. So this really isn't, the only benefit to me is that the deer are being eliminated because they're multiplying and they keep coming.
Thank you, Karen. The back room, you wanted to speak?
I didn't know if you had any questions for me as far as what come up. The permits, my understanding with the permits is there won't be any more permits issued for this year because of the citations revolving around the permits themselves. I don't know if there's any other questions with everything that's been brought up. I can try to clear up some of it.
Well, let's see. She had some permits, right? To shoot, did she say 10?
She was issued 5 February
Had
15th or something.
Has she registered any deer that have been already taken? Or don't you know?
Say that again?
Yeah, yep, they've been registered, yep.
All 10?
All 10.
Yes, all 10. One of them's kind of a separate side thing. It was hit as a
It's a DNR's position that you're not going to issue anymore this
No.
year or next.
this year. If she her permit is program eligibility is not rescinded for next year, she is welcome to apply back into the
So
program.
that's the question that we're really being asked to say yes or no.
Correct.
Whether she can get any more permits this year. Is that true? Is that the way you read it?
Next year.
Huh?
Next year, I would say this year,
Already fulfilled.
this year's fulfilled with what she had, and according to what you just said, she's not going to get any more no matter what because of the citations.
Right.
But if this committee approves next year's revocation, she won't get any next year.
Also, okay.
But
If you approve, it also would mean she's not getting reimbursement for crops this year.
Say that again?
If you guys approve that she's getting kicked out of the program for this year,
Oh,
next
getting
year.
kicked out of the program.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Or suspended from the
monetary
program.
penalty.
Yeah. Mm.
That's what I was getting at. She wouldn't receive the crop damage
Mhm.
reimbursement for this year. And next year, if you
Mhm.
continue on into next
Yeah.
year, that's.
Motion time, don't hear any motions.
So Alan, you have a couple options. There was, if you table it, it dies. So if someone
Right,
said
but
table
if
it,
you
it's died.
postpone it, you could bring it up
Postpone
at
it,
the
you
next
could
meeting.
Bring it at the next one. Otherwise, the motion would be to accept the recommendation of the DNR to remove.
Right,
And then if there was no motion at all, it just dies.
right.
So 4 options, I guess.
Or 5 if they modify it to go.
Is it modifiable? I guess
I
that
don't,
was-
from
I
what my
don't know
questions,
if
I
it
don't
is
think
or
it is modifiable.
I think it's based on the recommendation.
I thought Brian had asked if you could do remove
My
from the program
understanding
for
was you
this
can
year, or
modify it.
this year and next year. I thought they said you could, but I don't, that's.
What did you hear, Brian?
But my understanding of what I heard was that it can be modified. But on the agenda is a recommendation by the DNR, but
Can I
we're
please,
still in charge of what the actual action is.
The question you had asked was to be removed for just this year and not this year
That's
and
right.
next year. That's what Brian had asked.
That's
and
in my mind, that's modifying it.
Right. That's what, I guess that's.
Modifying the recommendation of the DNR.
and I haven't been convicted of anything with these citations, plus I am fighting them. I've already gone and talked to the district attorney about it as well. And pled no contest to it on the citations.
You beat me this time.
Okay. Okay, Karen, we've heard from you. Thank you.
Okay, I'm still on my bandwagon. I would like to postpone this to next month so we can look at all of the documents.
That you have to put it in the.
Yes,
form.
I said I would like to make a motion.
Okay, make a motion to
Second.
postpone.
Thank you.
And who seconded? Bob? Yeah, postpone.
I do have one question for Derek. If goes to court and Karen's found innocent, does that put her back into the program?
She's still in the program until the decision is made by the committee
Okay,
here.
so if she is found innocent, then she will not be
That has no
removed from the program,
realm
which
on it,
has
right?
not happened.
The tickets have no bearing. It would be
But,
if you.
but if she's found innocent, then they have no case, and then there's no reason to take her out of the program.
If you choose to remove her, if you made the motion to remove her from the program, regardless of the court's decision. I
Okay,
believe
that's my
that
question.
motion-
That's that
Yeah.
court case.
Right?
My understanding is the permit, there was paperwork and whatnot that was done incorrectly, so the conviction of the citations is separate from the portion of the program that was not done correctly.
More than just.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, have,
There's no timeline, right, that you guys need, like, if we postpone this to next month, that wouldn't, you have no deadline with
sounds to me
this,
like they're
correct?
not gonna issue any more permits.
Right, but just,
This year, I think is a done deal from what I'm hearing.
When's the
We're
question? would be-
impacting next year. Because they're not going to issue
If-
any more permits.
If it was postponed, the permits are, like the DNR has already made their decision, the permits won't be issued this year.
Right.
If it gets postponed until October, I would still be doing crop appraisals and everything as usual until we either decide on whether she's ineligible for the remainder of this year or,
Yeah, okay.
Crop damage.
So,
All right.
so
Karen,
what-
we've heard from you enough.
sorry,
No more,
just
no
one.
more comments.
Last
Thank you.
year, after I got the 10 tags filled, I requested more and they sent me more, even though I was doing it incorrectly.
Okay, we have a motion by Michelle to postpone, seconded by Doug Erickson, or Bob Kopish.
You want credit for it?
I'll pass.
Now, is there any comments from the committee on that motion?
And what we're looking for is the instructions, how the instructions work, correct?
Yeah,
right,
okay.
basically the packet, any information that was
The
given
sheet, so.
for the program
Mhm.
itself. So like how to fill out the tags, all of that, everything that she would have been given is what I would be interested in seeing.
Trying to understand.
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oppose? Okay, the postponement motion passes.
So this will be placed on a future agenda. The request is the DNR provide program information to help understand the permitting process, how it starts, the request. I think there's a little bit of confusion on, this also links to the agricultural damage program. So probably a little bit of information on that, if that helps, Austin.
That'll be on the October 23rd, 2025.
Thank you, everybody. All right, move on to the next agenda item, which is department reports.
So not a whole lot. We did have our annual clean sweep yesterday. Mike's on now. We had our annual clean sweep yesterday. It was at the Phillips Armory. Pretty good turnout. I think there was around 200 or so. And yeah, it was well received, fairly efficient. I don't know if anybody here attended or not. But
No, I have a constituent that had a truckload of TV sets, and she's just ecstatic that they took all those TV sets. Just
there was an unbelievable,
kudos.
unbelievable amount of televisions. I don't know how there's that many televisions in the building.
Because they're so cheap now, everybody can upgrade.
And they only last a couple weeks apparently by the number
True
of them.
story. So many on and
Um,
off cycles.
But yeah, so that was good. Otherwise, we're just finishing up projects, completing reimbursements for the year. Yeah.
That it? Any questions for Evan? All right, we'll adjourn this portion of the meeting. And we're going to review the minutes from July 24th and August 19th. The minutes are in your packet.
I make a motion to approve.
Okay.
Okay, Michelle made a motion to approve the minutes. Bob Kopish, second. Any discussion? All those signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Committee vouchers, you
Move to approve.
I second.
motion by Kopish to approve the vouchers that we've all seen.
I second.
Seconded by Michelle. Any discussion on the vouchers? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next meeting, October 23rd.
I don't know if we want to set the next meeting in November or if we want to plan November as a skip month and go to December. That is
Well,
to the.
a lot of it depends on how many clients you have.
Right. And and Amber as well. I
And,
don't want
yeah.
to skip a month for her.
Well,
Thanks. Thanks, Evan. Way to look out for me.
Yeah.
I mean, we will have the contract, but I think December or November we may have the contract. I guess I shouldn't be confident, but the contract needs to be signed in either November or December.
So we could.
What are the
The date
dates?
would be the 20th of November or the 18th of December would be the two dates. We could, I don't know what we've skipped this year. I think we've already skipped our required two.
I think
but
we
I'd have to
did
recall.
last month. Well,
But
let's
if we
see.
can skip a third, wouldn't be heartbroken.
And the 20th is the Thursday before deer season?
The 20th is the Thursday. No, the 20th would be the Thursday before deer season. The 18th of
20th
December.
is on my calendar.
November 20th. Yeah, we can certainly schedule that one. If we don't need it, we don't need it, and we can push it to
Yeah,
December.
let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good plan.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. November skip.
Nope, it's on the calendar for
Don't
November
delete it off your calendar.
20th. And it's October 27th, right? It's too far away. 23rd.
October 23rd, November 8th, 20th. December 18th.
November 20th, October 23rd. Stop it.
I go in hibernation about that time of year.
Okay. UW Extension. We'll call that meeting to order. Roll call is same with the exception that Jason is not in the room. But Amber is, and
I'm right here.
yeah,
Rachel, did Rachel have a conference, right?
Yeah, she's excused. And so you got to carry the whole.
Through the whole day, I don't have her to back me.
all right. Is there any public comment relative to UW Extension? Hearing none. Any communications from any member of the committee? Hearing none. We'll move on to Reality Fair. I got to ask you a question right up front on the Reality Fair. What is you've lost some more resources with, in your department.
I know, but I'm committed, Alan.
Well, I just want to clarify, make everybody aware that,
That I'm short.
Rebney is no longer.
Yeah, so we are a little shorthanded. Wendy will be with us through December with the FoodWise because of her length of service. Other FoodWise educators, depending on their length of service, are done.
You
But-
haven't lost that resource.
So I haven't lost that, but we did, Danae Wolsasak, who was our support in the office, did take a position with the Prentice School District. And so we did, after the fair, Danae moved on.
And you're recruiting for that.
We are recruiting. And we've had a couple of applications, so I think there's some possibility there.
Okay.
I don't know how helpful somebody will be by the time the Reality Fair happens in that preparation, but I've got some resources. We're going to make it work.
All right.
Yeah,
Good.
no worries there.
All right.
I mean, at least not today. Okay, so thank you. That is a great starting point. I just wanted to share, I'll be meeting with the schools on the 29th. I needed to let the teachers get into the groove, but they're ready now. And so we will be
Talking about
meeting.
Phillips, right?
The Phillips,
Just
yeah,
Phillips.
just Phillips, the teachers at Phillips that are working on the Reality Fair with us. So that'll be on the 29th. And then I should have more information about how we'll involve and engage volunteers in the public with the program. You have a question?
Oh, the date.
Oh, you just got ready. You were moving it
I was
closer
ready. I'm getting
in
close.
case you have something to
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
Okay.
What
I don't need it.
what dates do you have for that?
The Reality Fair is going to be November 13th.
Okay.
It's a Thursday.
November what?
13th.
Okay.
Any other questions about Reality Fair?
I'm glad you're taking a positive position and it's going to happen.
Oh, we're not going to just sit around here and talk about it. We got to get her done. I'm excited. So the next thing is the director update. And I did just hand out the draft contract we just got that finalized. Remember, I've kind of been talking about it, so I wanted to bring it. It wasn't on the agenda, so there's nothing to do with it currently, but I know there has been a lot of discussion about the contract. And so I wanted to make sure people had it in time to really look at it and make sure you can, wherever it needs to go for appropriate approval. It is a standard contract that, and if this county in particular has something they would like to address, we definitely can. I would point out that I think one of the areas we've had a lot of question and concern about here was the non-discrimination statement. And there's still one in here based on federal law requirement, but you'll notice if you compare the two, it is much more condensed. And so hopefully that aligns better with what we're looking for here. So that is F. if you have a chance to take a look at that. But again, and I can definitely get this to Jason. I know that's been something, but again, I wanted to make sure you had time to really look at it, and then we'll have it on the agenda for our next meeting. It doesn't, until the budget is passed, it can't be signed anyway, because
I want to make a note that, that the contract, a copy of the contract was distributed to the, okay.
it's a draft. Yeah, sorry, I can put that on there, but I can also get it to Meredith to post with the meeting information.
And we as a county wouldn't sign it until we finalize a budget, which is November 15th, because we don't know if the funding is in the budget to meet the contract needs. It is right now, but you guys could change the budget before November 15th.
Okay. Comment, question. We have actually two contracts. We have an overriding contract of our relationship with Extension, and this is the annual renewal contract, right?
We have a contract and then a memo of understanding.
What is this?
This is the contract.
What's the memo of understanding? That's got a
That's
whole.
like how we
It's going to go with it. Which you just approved last time, kind of out of sequence. You signed it for 2025 just because it was a brand new document that was worked on with Wisconsin Counties Association and Extension, but it will be a partner with this. So when we bring nothing has changed in the MOU for 2026. And so when we bring the contract to you, we'll bring that memorandum of understanding with it, but there have been no changes, which is why I didn't make a copy.
Okay.
You just signed it.
Okay. Now this paragraph F has been a big deal.
F?
Discrimination.
Yeah.
Now, does the MOU have language in there that
No.
needs to be addressed?
Never had it in there.
The only thing that it has is it refers to the contract. So
Okay.
if you have an issue with the contract, then you may also not, right? Then the MOU would also maybe raise some concerns.
So this language is what we're using for the whole relationship with Extension.
Around non-discrimination.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
For
Yeah,
those
okay.
employees.
This eliminates a lot of issues because it really narrows it down, just applies to following the law, not getting involved with this word or that word or whatever that kind. This is probably what should have happened in the first place. Okay,
I will take that.
Just a comment.
Yep, and I'll make sure that I share that with Extension leadership.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Nope, thank you.
With that other document, there's a meeting October 29th with Carl and the steering committee, just to say it's the same one, but to review if there's any issues and discuss it. So that's the accompanying document that will come that we can't sign until after the budget. So they'll both come together as a package.
And again, it wasn't on the agenda. I just wanted people to I felt like there was some question last year about people not having time to respond to the contract. And so just wanted to alleviate any of that. I mean, I'm definitely always open for discussion and willingness to communicate with the university in whatever way is needed. That's all. So the only other update that I have, and we alluded to it when we were talking about staffing, is Wendy is still here. She just did an incredible program, Squash Day, at the elementary school. So you'll see her. I think the amount of programming probably will look different because, right, if you're kind of planning for an end date, it's part of a transition. And so there's a lot of materials she's going through but she will do her best to also be in the spaces providing programming through that end of December date. But I mean, it's just the dismantling of a program just takes some time and resources.
Do you want to talk about, you and I have had a couple conversations about the future, and it may not be the same position, but there may be a discussion on how we can move forward to continue some of this education.
Yeah. So I think that at the last county board meeting, not this past one, but the one before that I was at, there was some discussion about how what would it cost us to be able to fund an educator position doing some nutrition or health and well-being. And so Nick and I had a prior conversation as soon as we heard about the cutting of the position. And what I would say is, the university is exploring this. I actually have a position in Florence County right now that we are also building out that is going to do some of this. It's a health and well-being educator position, which can do some nutrition education. In Florence, it was also going to focus on prevention. So they're looking at some of their OST funds, the opioid task force funds that they got, the settlement. And so just there's some opportunity here. I'm excited to see what happens in Florence, kind of as a pilot program for us. One of the challenges that we had in Florence is the university also only has so many co-funded FTEs, right? So, I mean, that definitely is where we want to leverage resources locally. If you fund a full-time educator on your own, it costs you twice as much to have that educator, right? You're connected to the university resources, but you don't leverage the additional state and federal dollars. And so what we really would want to do, I mean, or what I believe is the best partnership opportunity for local communities is to leverage some of that FTE. So with FoodWise going away, none of those FTE were funded through our co-funding system. They were all state and federally 100% funded. So we're kind of shifting and looking at our overall extension structure because there definitely is a gap in health and well-being, which is a critical issue in, I would say, 100% of our counties. I don't think there's a county out there that isn't struggling with mental health. In both their youth and in their older middle-aged population. I think obesity, there's just almost every community has it. And some of our more northern rural communities struggle even more. They tend to be at the bottom of that health, like when they rank the health rankings. And so what I want to share is we are looking at it and working to reapportion some of those FTEs. So every institute we have youth development. They have the most FTEs across the state. Every county has a 4-H or youth development educator in their county or a portion of one. Then, ag is a more regional model. And so counties typically will buy into that. So those FTEs are spread out a little bit more. They have less than 4-H. Community development is another institute. They have a certain percentage. And then health and well-being and human development and relationships. So all of that to say, I think, and this is what Nick and I were talking about, what I would love to do is to continue to talk about how we might build out and have a proposal for UW for a co-funded health and well-being position. And, that may be a conversation with Sarah Soha as well. And what has happened with the Strong Bodies program, which had originally been under extension, and really that program continues to be facilitated from extension, like in order for it to be evidence-based, it is connected there, right? Like the data and information is sent. So I would like to propose that we take a look in the year ahead to see how we might build out a health and well-being position. It'll give the state also some time to really think about what that nutrition support will be, because it's new. It's new without the infrastructure it had from the federal FoodWise dollars.
And so this isn't a quick turnaround. This is, Amber and I have been talking about this, where it's between getting Health and Human Services on board. We also have to get UW Extension on board. We're talking, we'll deal with it in the 2027 budget, meaning later, we'll work through 2026 and they have to develop it. We have to get approval. We have to get the funding. We have everything. It's not an overnight.
Yeah, I would love if it was, and we're trying to do that in Florence, but honestly, and I know this is probably not what you want to hear, it really is. It's a lot, and timelines don't line up. The pace at which UW operates, what the county needs in order to get their budget to the public. And, if we're going to, the other piece is we're also looking at the school relationship. If we're helping to meet help meet some of those national standards in the school around nutrition, is there a way to partner? And also, and again, I'm not putting anything out there, so I don't want anybody, but I think those are all discussions to have so that we can build out a position for the community that best meets our needs. And so again, I hate to have the gap in a year because it is super valuable. I looked at the School of District website and saw Wendy with the kids. She was like dressed up like a squad. And I was like, who's going to bring that in and do that? And so it's disappointing, but I also think we can build something that's stronger. I mean, I don't foresee county government or any government having more money moving forward. I think it's always going to be tight. So how do we leverage funds and use resources in the most responsible way possible? And I'm willing to do some of that work and have those conversations. And I would really love to see a full-time educator in Price County. It is hurting extension. I mean, we're going to have 0.5 now. I mean, it's right. It's like we've almost cut off our legs and our arms and we got this little body here trying to like do something, and it's tough. So I just, in full transparency, I'm going to do what I can.
And to be on our side, this was not a county decision. This was a federal
Right.
and a state.
Oh, for sure.
Throughout the time, it's
Yeah.
not the county going cut,
No.
cut. There's been other.
Right.
other-
And in a pretty short amount of time, 6 months amount of time. I don't know that we really saw this. I mean, I hired an educator in Forest County 6 months ago. She just had her 6th month. I would have never hired somebody thinking the program was going to be cut. I mean, it's always a chance, right? Like when you are receiving, so you have to be wise and we communicate that. But like from an ethical standpoint, I would have never said like, hey, let's bring you on. And then in 6 months, it might be gone. But that's the reality.
Yeah, the reality is we have a half a person,
Yeah,
right?
that's what it is for now. And so I would love to entertain some conversations, do some work in the community, both Park Falls and Prentice, the entire, so that we're developing a position that really meets the entire county.
That's our
That-
whole 4-H program.
Yeah, and Amber's been great with it. I'm part of it where we're able to have those conversations with the schools. But when does the school budget happen? Whole different time than what we do. So again, this is not an overnight thing. This is how do we want to see something happen in the next 2 years?
I'm going to go for a year, but Nick can go for 2.
Well, but even
Like,
with
so it's in
budgets
the budget
alone,
for
yeah,
27.
correct. That's a
Yeah,
year from now
okay,
for the budget.
okay.
So by the time you're
No,
up
I
and
just-
running and hired and get the school, if the schools are on board, Health and Human Services, like you said, the money's not just sitting around to
Yeah.
make a decision.
I wish it was.
Thank you, Amber.
Yeah. So that's all I really have.
Do you want
yeah,
to
go
talk a little bit about the runway for Wendy and because she's here a little longer based on her
Yeah.
tenured, and how that worked?
Yeah, I mean, again, and I mentioned this just briefly before, Wendy does have over 25 years of service. And so when looking at layoffs and the policy for UW, that determined when. So funding for the program ends October 1st. But based on how we administer the program and how HR works at UW-Madison. Those layoff notices, when the program got cut, they did get sent pretty quickly, but there has to be a certain amount, like that's part of the contract for our UW employees is based on their amount of time, like the amount of notice they need in order to do that. And so Wendy is here. And again, as I mentioned, she'll continue to do programming. I don't think it'll be at the same level just because some of that is ongoing, right? So she sets up a school schedule and is in each of those particular classrooms across the county. And so I think as we look at the year, that's typically built out with those schools. So it'll look different. Also, what I was mentioning is there are a lot of materials after 26 years of a program. And so really finding the best use for those materials. We obviously, with our hope and goal of having a program, we're not going to get rid of everything. But there also are things that probably 26 years later we held on to because we just didn't know if we would need them or want to use them. But they may not be as applicable as they were 26 years. So she's shifting through some of that just to help the next person who comes on not have an entire quarter of the attic and an office full of supplies. So you'll find her doing that. The other thing is she'll be using up leave, right? She has some leave that has built up over that amount of time. And so we've been encouraging them to use that up. So her schedule will be sporadic, but you'll see her at least one more time. Maybe at that November, December meeting, we'll have her give an overview and a summary of the work that's been done here. Maybe I've had a couple of educators in the counties kind of do a walkthrough of the impact and the programming. It's good for them in terms of some nostalgic. As you can imagine, laying off quality people is not easy in anywhere, right? Like, I mean, it's for me, if we have to get rid of somebody because they're not doing the job, that's one thing. But it is tough when you have people who've been dedicated and committed to serving. And so just trying to help her end well, a career that has made a difference in our community and young people. So that's what I know about that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Anything you have for me?
I have none. Let's see, we've seen the financial reports, I believe. Okay, we don't act on.
Nope.
So we stand adjourned.
Vouchers? Did I approve these vouchers, sir?
Yes, those are approved. I think we just put them at the end. If there are any questions at the University Extension.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
one motion we made covers these.
Correct, yes.
All right, we stand adjourned.
Good work, people.